A very good morning, ma'am, and my dear fellow students. We are here to present you about the hazard signs and their identification through a presentation. Let me introduce my team members. Abdul Razeen from Biotech, Dinesh Kumar from Biotech, Gautam from Civil, Subram from Aerospace, and myself, Cheryl from Aerospace. Let's get into the topic. First of all, let's see what hazard symbols are. So, hazard symbols are warning symbols or recognizable symbols designed to warn about hazardous or dangerous materials, locations, or objects, including electrical currents, poisons, and radioactivity. The use of hazard symbols is often regulated by law and directed by standards organizations. The pictograms help us to know that the chemicals or heavy things or materials we are using might cause harm to the people or the environment. Hazard symbols may appear with different colors, backgrounds, borders, and supplemental information in order to specify the type of hazard and the level of threat. For example, toxicity classes. Warning symbols are used in many places such that it is quickly recognized, that is, faster than reading a written warning. Next, we'll see where these signs are used. These signs are often used in places where the exposure of humans to danger is more. For example, these signs are used in hospitals, power plants, laboratories, roads or highways, malls, educational institutions, etc. Let's see more elaborate about these. Dinesh will continue for the further session.
I am Dinesh and will be explaining about the safety measures in hospitals and laboratories. By analyzing patients' safety as a science, frontline providers will provide a higher quality of patient-centered care on hospital unit. The healthcare safety mainly aims to prevent and reduce risk, errors, and harm that occurs to patients during provision of healthcare. The patient's safety is fundamental to delivering quality essential health services. Multiple signs boards are placed in hospitals. Some of the examples are caution to slippery surface, radiation hazard signs, safe condition and first aid signs, emergency signs, cautions and towards protective clothing requirements, no smoking, and etc. So, coming to laboratories includes both private and educational areas. In order to maintain a safe workplace and avoid health hazard signs are used in everywhere. The general warning lab safety symbol consists of a black examination point in a yellow triangle. Depending upon the scientific research being conducted, a lab can be filled with dangerous chemicals, radioactive substances, sharp instruments, etc. Researchers, staffs, and visitors should note and understand the laboratory signs that include specific hazards, agents, physical hazards, precautions, and required personal protective equipments. Some examples given in the slides are laser beam hazards, high voltage, corrosive material hazards, etc. Next, my friend Abdul will explain about the industrial safety signs.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdul and I will be talking about industrial safety system. An industrial safety system is a countermeasure crucial in any hazardous plants such as oil and gas plants and nuclear plants. They are used to protect human, industrial plant and the environment in case of the process going beyond the allowed control margins. The best occupational health and safety programs use a series of signs and symbols to convey complete message. The symbols include face shield, safety goggles, gloves, vapor respirator, explosion hazard, etc. The purpose of these hazard signs mainly include three categories: equipment maintenance requirement, operating instructions, safety instructions. Equipment maintenance requirement. These are signs that are often used to outline maintenance requirements and provide basic instructions for maintenance procedures, such as the proper way to shut down equipment before performing routine maintenance. Operating instructions. These are signs used to outline basic operating procedures to ensure operator safety. While experienced equipment operators may not need to review the standard safety procedure before every use, these types of signs are often mandated by regulatory agencies and provide a safety net for company liability. Safety instructions. These signs may display information about avoiding exposure to harmful chemicals or hazardous substances or materials, or serve as a notification of the location of safety equipment, such as an eye wash station. Now, my friend Gautam will continue the presentation.
Hello all, myself Gautam. I am explaining about signs used in roads and highways. Road signs in India can vary in design depending on the location. Road signs in India are metric. There is no official typeface for road signs in India. Typically, road signs may use hand-painted fonts, but some road signs in India use Arial, highway, Gothic, or transport. Most urban roads and state highways have signs in state language and English. National highways have signs in state language, Hindi and English. Road signs: a circular with a slash shows prohibited activities, and circle without slash shows rule. Triangle indicate warning and show risk. Blue circle indicate mandatory instructions and are there for a particular class of vehicle. Otherwise, the regular color of signboard is red and white. They make people accountable by requiring them to follow the rules. They ensure the safety of drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists on the road. They help to prevent accidents and keep traffic flowing smoothly. My friend Shivram will continue the rest of the slides.
Morning everyone, myself Shivram Patro. So I'm continuing the presentation about the hazardous sign, and now I'm going to explain about the signs that are used in the educational sector. As the word education itself means learning, so we learn here what to do and what to not do in order to prevent hazards. So here are some of the signs that are used in our educational sector, that is in our own institute Hindustan University, like prohibition signs, which tells us like a warning not to go to places like transform area, generator area, and motor house, etc. Now coming to another sign, that is emergency signs, like emergency exit, and also with including informational signs like telling us how to use the equipment in order to save ourselves from hazard, like in this picture fire extinguisher, which is telling us about how to use the fire extinguisher. Now coming to the next slide, we have lab safety rules like wearing lab uniform, handling the chemicals and glassware carefully, wear gloves while using or working with the chemicals, and using glasses for eye during the welding in mechanical workshop, etc. And we are also being informed to be attentive and not to touch anything without the permission of the lab profession. Now coming to the other signs or equipment present in the corridor, like in this picture we can see a sand bucket which is used like a fire extinguisher in case of organic fire which are within our control. And in the second picture we have 5S method being explained. So what are those 5S? First is explaining about how to sort, or when we are in doubt, move uh, without wasting time from that area. And the second is, that is set in order, to keep the things in order so that nothing is being damaged. And the third is, that is sign, helps us to make us understand to keep the things clean, and inspections of the machine should be done in regular intervals. And the fourth is, that is standardize. So the fourth test is explaining that rules should be made and it should be followed. Now coming to the last test, that is sustain, which keep it like keep the rules and follow it, and eventually it will become your habit. So this 5S save us from going into accidents and saving ourselves from hazard. Nowadays, hazards are not restricted only to industrial uh, or chemicals, but they are also medical hazards like pandemics and sometimes contagious diseases which are very dreadful. So some of the medical hazardous science used in our educational sector telling us what to do and what not to do in order to prevent those contagious diseases. In this picture we can see that we are being asked to use mask, sanitize our hand, avoid gathering in case of pandemics like corona and also some of the other pandemics, to keep yourself clean and the surrounding clean in order to prevent those diseases or health hazards. And in this other picture we have the content and the positions in the first aid box explaining us what we should. The first and the former treatment of any accident is being done by first aid box, so it is mandatory to have a first aid box in every lab. So first aid box prevent the accident from being too much severe and to make those things come in control until and unless you are being taken into hospital. So with this I conclude my portion. Thank you.
Last but not the least, our sincere thanks to Dr. Chandrakala, her professor and mentor, without whom this project would have not been a great success. Thank you, ma'am, and dear fellow students.